August 26th, 2025, 7:43 p.m. The Leawood Estates backyard looked like something pulled straight from a fairy tale. Strings of Edison bulbs crisscrossed overhead, casting a golden glow across 2,000 white roses lining the pathway to the gazebo. Candles flickered in hurricane glasses, creating pools of warm light. Hidden cameras were tucked among the blooms, ready to capture a moment Travis Kelce had spent 3 days orchestrating to perfection. Travis had coordinated with florists, lighting designers, and his brother Jason down to the last detail. Every step, every second of this evening had been meticulously planned. For months, he had envisioned kneeling before Taylor Swift in this very spot, the Cartier engagement ring burning a hole in his pocket. Jason and Kylie were supposed to be keeping the kids at their hotel, giving him complete privacy for the most important question of his life. Yet, as Taylor strolled hand in hand with him toward the garden, he could feel her studying him. Her eyes squinted just slightly, catching his nervous energy. "You've been quiet today," she said, a teasing edge to her voice. "Everything okay?" "Everything's perfect," Travis replied, heart hammering in his chest. "I just wanted some quiet time with you before things get crazy." As they stepped into the garden, Taylor gasped. The golden hour light caught the roses in a way that made them look like a living sea of petals. Travis held his breath. "Travis, this is beautiful. What's all this for?" "For you," he said simply, but his hands trembled as he reached for hers. This was it, the moment that would change everything. "I need to tell you something," he began, voice thick with emotion. Taylor's eyes glistened as she read the unspoken words before him. "When I first saw you at your Kansas City tour show, I just wanted to give you a friendship bracelet, maybe ask you to dinner. I never imagined," his voice caught, "that you'd become my best friend, that you'd make me laugh harder than anyone ever has, that you'd fit into my family like you'd always been part of it." Taylor's tears began to fall, sparkling in the candlelight. She knew what was coming. Travis's hand hovered near his pocket, where the ring waited, but before he could lower to one knee, something completely unexpected happened. "Stop!" The voice was high-pitched, insistent, and unmistakably belonged to a 6-year-old. Travis froze mid-motion, ring still in pocket. Taylor turned, startled, to see Wyatt, Kelsey, Jason, and Kylie's eldest daughter charging through the garden gate in pink unicorn pajamas, hair flying, juice box in hand. "Wyatt, what are you doing here?" Travis asked, baffled. "You're supposed to be at the hotel with your parents." Wyatt planted herself firmly between Travis and Taylor. "Uncle Travis, you have to stop. You can't ask Taylor to marry you yet." Jason and Kylie appeared behind a shed, frozen and mortified. Jason was holding his phone, clearly filming, while Kylie covered her mouth, whispering, "I'm so sorry." But instead of annoyance, Taylor knelt to Wyatt's level, smiling warmly. "Hey, sweetheart, why not? Why can't Uncle Travis ask me to marry him?" Wyatt's little face was serious. "Mrs. Patterson said lots of grown-ups get married for the wrong reasons. And I don't want you to be married for the wrong reasons, because then everyone gets sad." The garden was silent, except for the gentle rustle of roses in the breeze. Travis's heart raced, not with nerves but awe. A 6-year-old had just turned his perfectly rehearsed proposal upside down. Taylor took Wyatt's hand gently. "That's very smart. We're the wrong reasons." Wyatt counted on her fingers. "Because they're scared to be alone, because they want someone to take care of them, because their friends are married, or because someone's rich or famous." "Very smart," Taylor nodded. "And the right reasons?" Wyatt paused. "You marry someone because they make you laugh, you want to take care of them when they're sick, you like the same important things, and you can be yourself." Travis looked at Taylor. Then he looked at Wyatt. He laughed, a genuine, full-belly laugh that shook his whole body. "Wyatt, you're right. I didn't get to explain my reasons yet, but now I will. And you tell me if I'm doing it for the right reasons. Okay." Wyatt's eyes grew wide with responsibility. "Okay, Uncle Travis." Travis steadied himself, took Taylor's hands, and began again, this time with honesty, not a script. "Taylor, I want to marry you because when I'm with you, I don't have to be the football player. I can just be me, the guy who burns toast, cries during dog movies, gets nervous before big games. You've seen me in my worst, and you love me anyway. That's why I want to marry you." Wyatt nodded seriously. "That's good. What else?" "I want to marry you because you make my family happier. You make my mom smile. Jason enjoys family dinners because you're there. My nieces and nephews love you because you play with them, not because you're famous." Taylor's tears fell harder, but Wyatt wasn't done. "But Uncle Travis, do you want to marry her because she's pretty and famous? Because Mrs. Patterson said that's not enough?" Travis shook his head, voice trembling. "No, Wyatt. At first, yes, I was excited because Taylor Swift was dating me. But then I realized it's hard. Being famous is hard. She works harder than anyone I've ever met, and sometimes I don't see her as much as I want. I want to marry Taylor because of her. The woman who leaves me notes in my suitcase." When 6-year-old Wyatt Kelsey interrupted Travis's proposal to make sure he was doing it for the right reasons, we learned the most beautiful moments are the unplanned ones. Honesty, family, and love that passes even a first grader's inspection. It became the most watched wedding invitation video in history, shared only with their closest family and friends. On their wedding day, Wyatt walked down the aisle as the flower girl, wearing a custom sash reading, "Proposal Quality Control," and carrying a sign, "They're doing it for the right reasons." Travis and Taylor's first dance was to a song Taylor wrote called "Right Reasons," about a love that was real enough to pass a 6-year-old's inspection. Whenever someone asked about their engagement story, Travis and Taylor gave the same answer. The best part wasn't the roses, the candles, or the perfect sunset. It was a little girl in pink pajamas who loved us enough to make sure we were getting married for the right reasons. Sometimes wisdom comes in the smallest packages. And sometimes a 6-year-old's heart can teach adults more about love than they've ever known. The story reminds everyone. The perfect proposal isn't always the one you plan. It's the one that comes from honesty, from heart, and occasionally from a first grader's intervention. The sun had fully set, leaving the garden bathed in the soft glow of strings of lights and the flickering of countless candles. Travis and Taylor sat together on the gazebo steps, still holding hands, still staring at the sparkling ring on her finger, still laughing and crying at the same time. "I can't believe it," Taylor whispered, leaning her head on Travis's shoulder. "A 6-year-old just made everything perfect in a way I never could have imagined." Travis nodded, brushing a tear from her cheek. Wyatt didn't just interrupt. "She made me speak from my heart, stripped away all the rehearsed lines. I've never felt more honest, more myself." They watched the video Jason had secretly recorded, the little moments of chaos and clarity preserved forever. The squeak of Wyatt's pink pajamas, her tiny voice asking the toughest questions, the sparkle in Taylor's eyes as she knelt to Wyatt's level. Every second of it radiated truth, joy, and pure love. Travis laughed softly, shaking his head. I thought I was planning the perfect proposal. But Wyatt, she taught me that perfection isn't roses or lights or a sunset. It's honesty, it's family, it's making sure the people who matter most see you're doing it for the right reasons." Taylor smiled, squeezing his hand. "It's true, and you did. And now, every time we look at this ring, we'll remember how Wyatt made sure we got it right. How a little girl in pink pajamas can teach grown-ups more about love than anyone else ever could." Months later, when they sent out wedding invitations, each QR code led to that private video. Friends and family laughed and cried along with them, watching as Wyatt became, officially, the proposal quality control officer. At the wedding, when Wyatt walked down the aisle as the flower girl with her sash and sign, everyone knew exactly why she held such an important role. She wasn't just a guest. She was part of the heart of their story. And as they danced under the lights, surrounded by the people they loved, Travis and Taylor understood something that would stay with them forever. The most meaningful moments aren't the ones you plan. They're the ones that catch you off guard, that test your honesty, that show you the depth of your love through someone else's innocent eyes. Sometimes, the most profound lessons come from the smallest voices. And sometimes, a 6-year-old in pink pajamas can remind the world that love, honesty, and family matter more than anything else. Their story became legendary, not because of the diamonds or the roses or even the perfect sunset, but because of Wyatt, who demanded the right reasons, who made adults speak truth, and who proved that love's most powerful moments often arrive unplanned. The garden that night held a memory they would cherish forever, a little girl's wisdom, the laughter and tears of couple in love, and a reminder that honesty is always the most beautiful gesture of all.